week on Spoke TV, will we see an end to interns working for free? Find out why MPP Catherine Fife says that changes to internship regulations will be coming soon. And the sudden closure of Everest College has left more than 2,500 students with a lot of debt and no diplomas.
I started here, I'd like to finish here.
Find out if there's hope they can finish their credentials. Plus, what is really in Purina's food? Find out about the lawsuit the pet company is facing after allegedly causing thousands of dog deaths.
Hi, I'm Sarah George.
And I'm Christina Zavanovic, and this is Spoke TV, your source for local weekly news produced by second-year journalism broadcast students at Conestoga College.
You need experience to get experience. It's that age-old, annoying adage. Many young people looking to break into a business turn to internships, mostly unpaid. Nora Meszaros has more on Ontario's Bill 64 that hopes to protect interns and create a learning economy.
Unpaid interns in the province may soon see some changes to their work experiences. Ontario's Bill 64 is the Protecting Interns and Creating a Learning Economy Act. It works in two parts.
Bill 64 is calling for the creation of an advisory council between 17 and 25 members. These members would work together to increase paid internship opportunities and regulate unpaid opportunities in the province.
MPP Catherine Fife says the bill comes in response to the increasing number of unpaid school-related work placements.
And there's a growing awareness, I think, across this country and in Ontario itself. One is that youth unemployment is at its highest in Canada. Ontario has an ongoing issue. And that unpaid internships have become almost normalized in the province.
The second part of the bill looks to ensure that students know their rights through the Employment Standards Act. It also aims to redefine the term work-integrated learning. Christine Dawson at Conestoga College's Co-op Services Office explains the term is new in the industry and encompasses more than just interns.
Work-integrated learning is a broader definition that includes things like applied research projects, service learning, field placements, internships, clinicals, practicums, cooperative work terms. And so it's just a broader term that captures all of the different types of experiential learning opportunities that a student might experience.
Currently, Bill 64 is awaiting its third reading by the House of Commons. For Spoke TV, I'm Nora Meszaros.
Thanks, Nora. Post-secondary school education already poses several challenges, but after Everest College declared bankruptcy and shut down, it left thousands of students financially hurt and with nothing to show for it. Josh Horsley reports on what these students will do now.
Spend all day on the phone anyhow. Why don't you make a phone call that's going to help you in your future?
Unfortunately for Everest College students, their futures are now uncertain. On February 19th, the Ministry of Education shut down Everest's operating license. The next day, the college filed for bankruptcy, closed all of their campuses, and left almost 2,500 students and 450 staff members with nowhere to go. Cheryl Hopp was one of those students.
Personally, I am funding myself. I'm not on OSAP, but the majority of the students that I know personally are on OSAP. So they're at the mercy of the ministry. And I have some choices, but quite frankly, I started here, I'd like to finish here.
The ministry is, however, working to assist the former Everest attendees.
The ministry has said that there's a refund process that they will be eligible for because the Everest College closed down. If they just go out on their own and decide, I want to go to Conestoga, they could lose all that refund funding. So right now the government's just told them, sit tight, we'll let you know when we've made a decision, and until then there's really nothing we can do to really actively recruit them or have them come here, because that would jeopardize their possible funding and for refunds.
The closure of Everest College isn't just hurting students either. It's also costing the city and taxpayers $26,000 a month in rent. However, there is a prospective buyer ready to buy the property. For Spoke TV, I'm Josh Horsley.
Things are about to get a little bit pricier for homeowners in Kitchener. Despite the tax increase, the city says it still holds one of the lowest combined tax and utility rates out of Ontario's largest 25 cities.
An almost 10% increase in water utility rates and a 1.9% increase in property taxes will add about $96 to the average Kitchener homeowner's tax bill. Councillors say it was necessary in order to repair and maintain the city's aging infrastructure, like the roads, and keep up with the rise in winter water main breaks resulting from aging pipes that are at the end of their lives. Changes come into effect April 1st.
After the break, if you didn't think the reality show I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant was possible, we meet one local woman who just found out she's 8 months pregnant.
Pregnancy can be difficult to detect in early stages, but what if you're 8 months in and don't know? Katerina Costa met up with Kitchener's own Pregnant and Didn't Know It to share her story.
Planning a baby can be exciting and stressful, and while 9 months seems like a long while, it always comes sooner to mothers than expected. But what if you only had 1 month to plan? What if you didn't know you were pregnant? That's exactly what happened to Daisy Zapeta.
So I had pain in the stomach, and then I went to the doctors because, I have Crohn's disease. He touched the belly and he realized something was a little different, so he did the test and it turned out I was pregnant. But he thought it was 3 to 4 months, and when we actually got everything back, it was 8 months.
Usually by the end of the first trimester, a woman could notice symptoms of pregnancy. Depending on your menstrual cycle, can be misleading.
Although it is rare, not knowing you're pregnant still does happen and can hold major risks to the baby.
A Cambridge midwife explains some of the dangers of not knowing you're pregnant.
Well, the dangers are twofold. Most of them are for the baby. When people are planning a pregnancy and or know they are pregnant, most women will make the healthy choice to not consume alcohol and not smoke. They might take prenatal vitamins that include folic acid, and those are things that are really important, especially at the beginning of the pregnancy when they can most affect the baby.
Daisy Zapeta is 35 weeks and expecting to go into labor any day now. For Spoke TV, I'm Katerina Costa.
It's not just humans that need to look after themselves when it comes to nutrition, but their pets too. Nestle Purina pet foods are now facing a lawsuit after their product caused serious health issues and even death in some owners' dogs. Marian De Palma has more on this case.
A popular pet food company has been barking up the wrong tree. Nestle Purina Pet Care Company is currently facing a lawsuit, claiming the brand, Beneful, has caused serious health issues and even deaths amongst over 3,000 dogs. Post-mortem examinations showed internal bleeding in the deceased dogs under question. Veterinary exams suggested the dogs had been poisoned due to the state of their livers. This has caused concern for many dog owners and has raised the question, what really is in your dog's food? Jennifer Smith, manager of Global Pet Foods, tells us about the importance of checking the ingredients when purchasing your dog's food.
For dogs' health and wellness, you just want to make sure that the first ingredient is meat. So it should say chicken, or it should say lamb, or it should say beef, and not a meal or byproduct.
Over 523 complaints and reviews have been made about Purina Pet Foods, posted on Consumer Affairs. There is also a Facebook page dedicated to raising awareness about the alleged complaints. Leah Kane owns 2 dogs and tells us what she takes into consideration when choosing their food.
Basically, what I always try to keep in mind is I don't really want to be feeding my dogs anything that I wouldn't necessarily eat, so definitely products that you can pronounce and know what's going into your dog's food is very important.
A healthy diet is important for everyone, even when it comes to your pets. Choosing a reliable brand could make all the difference. For Spoke TV, I'm Marian De Palma.
Thanks, Marian. Cancer. That one word has the power to strike fear into even the strongest of hearts. Relay for Life has been showing people you don't need to directly suffer from the disease to fight it. And now I'm passing the baton to Laura Moncada with the details.
I want to win this fight, not just for us, but for everybody.
Mark McCorriston is one of the 180,000 Canadians that were diagnosed with cancer in 2011. McCorriston and her family are not alone in the Relay for Life, as many others join her in support of raising funds for the Canadian Cancer Society to advance cancer research and support other Canadians living with the disease. 11-year-old Turner Duldard has been very passionate about helping others.
That the fight for cancer is more important than everyday life. You should be connected to it, and you should really get yourself into it, because it opens up new windows not only for you, but for the people around you when you tell them about the event.
The Relay Reunion event brought back participants and volunteers on March 1st to kick off this year's fundraising. Karen Griffin, Senior Manager of the Canadian Cancer Society, explains that this is the first time they are doing this event as part of a provincial initiative.
This is to get people to find out what's going on and to get people encouraged to participate.
At the reunion, they reintroduced the baton by starting the relay with Mayor Barry Burbanovic. Relays for Life signature fundraiser will be held Friday, June 12th to Saturday, June 13th at the Resurrection Catholic Secondary High School. For Spoke TV, I am Laura Moncada.
Relay for Life! After the break, medication that goes beyond pills that doctors prescribe but reaches into history for Native practices that are still around today. Clock in and check out this new wearable technology that's looking to blow its competition out of the water. This smartwatch is not like the rest, and it's sure gotten a kick out of their consumers after Pebble Time was first introduced in 2012 on Kickstarter. Now they have surpassed their pledge goal of $500,000 when they hit over $16 million, with the first $1 million being raised in only an hour made Pebble Time Kickstarter's record holder. The Colory Paper smartwatch promises a 7-day battery life and new timeline interfaces that highlight the user's day. With a whole month left to go, Pebble Time could become the highest funded Kickstarter project yet.
Western versus traditional medicine. Some people think the two are like oil and water and simply cannot mix. Others aren't sure what to think because they don't know much about Indigenous healing. I spoke to people on both sides of the issue to explore it in depth.
Not everyone who has an ailment turns to prescription medicine. Some light sage. Sage has been used by First Nations for centuries in a ceremony called smudging, to help ward off negative energy around the body, and negative energy causing headaches, anxiety, depression, and even anger.
On your hair, because that's where we hold negativity in our minds. We then smudge each of our senses. So then you smudge your eyes, you smudge your nose, you smudge your mouth, and you smudge your ears. Then you take both hands and put them over your heart.
Smudging is just one of many Indigenous ceremonies, including healing circles, sweat lodges, and the pipe ceremony, utilized by First Nations in a system that is about whole being health, not just the body, rooted in prevention rather than reaction. At the base of First Nations healing practices lays the medicine wheel. Native Studies teacher Joyce Jonathan Crone says the medicine wheel is far from one-dimensional.
Wheel, just the basics of it. It's divided into 4 quadrants. It's 4 colors, white, yellow, red, and black, which represents the 4 colors of man. It also represents the north, south, east, and west. It also represents the summer, spring, fall, and winter. There are also earth elements related to them, 1 earth element in each quadrant.
It also represents the 4 aspects of one's being that must be at peace in order to attain wellness. If even one of these is off, it could throw everything out of whack. Mayungan Henry, a Chippewa elder, explains the effects of a flat medicine wheel.
It's like going through life on a block. Boom, 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 boom. So we say if you round that all out and have your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritualness, balanced, then life travels a lot smoother. It shows on your physical being, your demeanor. You live longer. And all those things help you.
There are 4 sacred herbs: cedar, tobacco, sage, and sweetgrass. The herbs are used to purify mind, body, and soul. However, treatment isn't done on a symptom-by-symptom basis, but a person-to-person one. People can experience the same symptoms, but it may be a different aspect of the medicine wheel that's causing it.
When somebody passes tobacco to me, I'll put it in that pipe and I'll use it to ask Creator what this person needs. Sometimes I'll be given that answer to use certain medicines to give to this person. So it's very individual and it's very unique to that person, and it's passed on right through our Creator. So
up until the 1950s, practices such as smudging were legal in Canada in an attempt to make First Nations more European. It's been a long road, and not all First Nations were allowed to grow up experiencing their history and culture. They want to change things for current and future generations, and for the Western world to realize modern medicine and the old ways can coexist.
If they give us a pill, the doctor says take it, you just take it. You don't even question it, right? But if you ever broke down the components of that pill, it's actually the same components that's in the willow bark or some of the medicines that I just talked about.
Not everyone is on board, though. Some people, like Jennifer Sutherland, a nursing student, think it takes more than herbal remedies to be effective.
Doctors go through at least 8 years of medical residency and schooling in order to have the right to diagnose and treat patients, and I don't think that somebody that is just working off of pure herbs is going to have the same effect as somebody that's worked in the medical field and knows exactly what treats what.
One thing both sides can agree on, laughter is the best medicine. For Spoke TV, I'm Sarah George.
While shopping online, others may be shopping for your credit information. Fake websites can be almost indistinguishable from real ones, and people may soon find their bank accounts empty. Paula Sierra has the details.
It all starts with a click. Using fake emails and crafty scams, hackers troll the web for your banking information and other sensitive data. According to the Government of Canada, over 80,000 fall for a scam every day, and this number triples during the holidays.
So we decided to test how easy it is to spot a website like this. We showed 10 people a fraudulent website, and we asked them if they could tell if it was real or fake. Here are some of the reactions.
6 out of 10 people fell for the eBay and PayPal fake accounts. Hackers would already have all their credit card information had this been real.
Too many of them looked realistic enough, and I guess, yeah, that's totally real. No, it's fake.
I'm shocked. I didn't think I would do that good because some of the sites looked really convincing.
It only takes one, and I mean, then you have their information, and like, who knows how much is on my credit card? I could have been like, oh, that's scary.
According to the Waterloo Regional Police Coordinator, Olaf Hazel, these are the things to look for when giving your personal information.
If people look very closely at the information that's in the email, they might recognize that there's something missing here, or the colors aren't just right, or there's spelling mistakes.
If you are asked to provide details like your date of birth, social insurance number, or mother's maiden name, immediately close the website. If you do fall for a scam, report it as soon as possible to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre. For Spoke TV, I'm Paula Sierra.
When we come back, virtual reality headsets could soon be a common household item for gamers. And now with a look at sports and entertainment, here's Danielle St. Cyr.
Thanks, Sarah. Hockey is Canada's favorite sport, so why shouldn't all Canadians get a chance to play? Nora Meszaros has the reason behind what makes the Blades hockey team inclusion services so unique.
A hockey player is only as disabled as the team that does not include him. Chris Bentley is one of 30 players on the Blades special hockey team in Cambridge, Ontario.
I've been playing for 15 years since when I was in elementary school, and I'm with the Blades. New hockey club is excitement and style.
The team was started in 2012 by a collection of families who wanted to establish a non-competitive special hockey team for the Cambridge area. Without support or funding from the City of Cambridge, the Blades became an official charitable organization with the help of the Special Hockey International League. They also received help locally.
3 years ago, a number of us families decided that it would be a good idea to start another team in Cambridge. I happened to drive past the sports park, the Cambridge Sports Park on Franklin Road. On the spur of the moment, stopped in, went into the office and kind of explained who I was and what we would like to do and whether or not they had ice time.
With rink use donated by other hockey clubs through the Cambridge Sports Park and with help from its parent organization, the Blades were fully outfitted within 1 month. It was time to get on the ice and learn hockey.
That's it, try to get the puck! Woo!
We're trying to teach them to play hockey, but mostly it's all about life. It's about having fun, learning to put your equipment on, learning to be responsible, learning to care for your teammates and support them and help them, just like a regular hockey team.
Currently in its 3rd consecutive season, the Blades Hockey Club takes pride in its ability to provide a special atmosphere for its players.
One unique thing that is very different from the other teams in this area is that the Blades is a mixed team. The other teams are split up into 3 levels according to ability of players. The Blades doesn't do that. This enables adults who grew up with their friends but don't have the physical ability to ever be a great hockey player to still be able to play hockey with their friends on the same team.
Players and organizers across all levels within the Special Hockey International League share the same sentiment.
The important thing about this is it's not just about hockey. Hockey is really the conduit for the belonging, for the inclusion, and it becomes a family.
Never before did I ever coach where the players will give you a hug all the time, and they're happy all the time, and it's just fun.
The social benefits for the players and coaching staff are obvious, but the Blades also provide a chance for the community to learn from the team.
The Blades are a group of people, children and adults, who, even though they might have a disability that causes them to need extra help in life, can be able to show our community that it doesn't matter, you can't do everything perfect. If you try your best, you're succeeding.
From March 18th to 21, the Blades Hockey Club is heading to Ottawa for the annual Special Hockey International Tournament. It will welcome 74 teams across the globe and nearly 2,500 players, coaches, and families for the 4-day tournament.
I think it's a really important thing for people to be involved in, whether you have special needs kids or not. It changes who you are as a person to be around these families. And I wish that we could establish teams in every city across Canada, and that's really our dream.
With major support from the National Hockey League's Ottawa Senators, Special Hockey International also hopes to expand the size of its league. For Spoke TV, I'm Nora Meszaros.
With exams coming up, students at Conestoga College know stress all too well. But for those looking for a way to unwind and have a good time, the bar in the sanctuary is reopening for business.
Being a college student can be very stressful, and there are many ways to relieve that stress. From hanging with friends to having a drink, the sanctuary at Conestoga College is a place where students can take a break in between classes and enjoy an alcoholic beverage, although due to an undisclosed issue, the sanctuary bar has closed. However, the bar is set to reopen on March 10th with some new rules, such as a 3-drink limit per student. They will also be asked to provide a valid form of photo ID as well as a valid student ID.
The virtual world is really coming to life. Now gamers can experience this alternative reality from the comfort of their own homes. Spoke TV's Candice Agunde takes us into this 3D world.
The VR gaming trend is only going to get bigger this year as companies like Samsung, HTC, and Oculus are developing head-mounted devices, or HMDs, targeted at consumers. According to CantacLetter.com, the consumer market for virtual reality could be worth $7 billion by 2018. But what is virtual reality?
So virtual reality is the ability to transpose someone, or teleport if you will, if you want Trekkie terms, but you can teleport someone from their current state to somewhere else that's believable, and they're not even they physically haven't moved environments.
In the past, virtual reality headsets were used primarily for military simulations and scientific purposes, where researchers would simulate real-life scenarios in labs. But these headsets would cost over $60,000. Now that they are being developed for video games, for about $400, video game companies are worried about whether or not consumers will actually buy these products.
Yeah, I'd totally buy a console for about $400, especially for virtual reality. I'd love to get involved in the immersed environment, and if the content providers are going to make these games and publish them, then it would definitely be a worthwhile investment.
Companies would also benefit from having VR be more mainstream, everything from architecture to real estate, as they would be able to physically walk their clients through a virtual simulation of their plans and ideas. For Spoke TV, I'm Candice Agunde.
That's all we have for you for this week. For Spoke TV from Conestoga College, I'm Sarah George.
And I'm Christina Zavanovic. For more news and information, visit spoketv.ca and follow us on Twitter.